would like to invite Mr. Shazil Ahmed, Vice President CollPoll.
Thank you very much. First of all, welcome everybody. It's a fantastic event and exchange of ideas. So I met many of the Vice Chancellors whom I used to work when I was at the Government of Karnataka after many years. It was kind of a reunion post the COVID. So, and also today talking about CollPoll, it's a campus digitization suite. So more than CollPoll, actually we want to talk about the technology itself, as to how it is transforming and what is the changes which technology has brought in the education space, specifically after COVID, right? And how it has become an integral part which is not going to go away, right? The Honorable Prime Minister recently, in his review of NEP, he spoke a lot about blended learning. He said that is way forward. And also the Honorable University Grants Commission, the statutory body for all the universities, they have been time and again reiterating the digital, the blended, and that is the way forward. And in fact, in recent one of their, they gave a complete concept note where say these are the technologies in learning, in administration, in examinations which can be adopted. So now I'm going to talk about how this can be worked out and how we as CollPoll will try and bring this particular transformation. So we'll talk more about technology than just the product, so that it becomes more interesting and we can have more discussions throughout the day. Ki ye kaise hota hai, wo kaise hota hai. I mean, that is what we are looking for. In the education space has changed drastically post 2020. Right? Till March 2020, we were following the same old style. We were thinking that EdTech ka time aayega, FinTech ka to chal raha hai, right? So the Flipkarts and Amazons were growing. Right? The EdTech ka time, when will it come? So the COVID helped us in enhancing that. And what has happened is the market dynamics have changed a lot. Right? How? So because, I mean, there is increase in the number of students because one of the speakers in the start mentioned that यहाँ पे कोई भी आएगा NEP के बारे में बोलेगा. So because it has become the most important aspect right now, a talking point, a focal point which will help us. So there is a lot of competition which has come in terms of admissions, in terms of placements, because there are multiple institutions, multiple companies. How do you integrate everything together? And there are a lot of market complexities, right, with respect to the academic management. There is choice-based credit system, there is multiple entry, multiple exit. So all these things are coming. I mean, it gives a nightmare to the educational institutions कि इसको कैसे implement करना है, right? So for example, I mean, can we add finance department? There is a problem that there are 1,000 students who are coming to pay a fee. Can I add 7 more accountants and create 7 more queues to solve the problem? Or I'll integrate with one payment gateway and 4 QR code लगा दिया उसमें बच्चे payment कर लिए. So that is the kind of thing which we would like to discuss today about. And then there are a lot of compliances which are coming into play. That is with respect to your NAC. Then we have NIRF, your NBA. Then we have QS ranking, whom we are partnering with shortly. And more than anything, right? We had the policymakers today morning who were with us. The government is coming up with new policies every day, right? So the new education policy, it talks about NETF. वो बहुत shortly आने वाला है, the National Education Technology Forum. Then we have the AICTE who says that it's compulsory internship for all the students. Right? And then we have online grievance addressing, which is mandatory as per AICTE. Right? So institutions were actually used to manage this to the best of their abilities in an offline way, sometimes using online, sometimes offline. But what has happened is this entire process has actually accelerated by 10 years post-COVID. Right? And there are some misunderstanding with respect to technology. कि ये हो गया मेरे पास, तो my solution is ready if I have this. So I'll just quickly talk about that in these building blocks, right? So we, in the traditional ERPs, we talk about a system of record, right? We say we have a record of academics, we have a record of the learning, we have a record of the hostels, we have everything. So ये records maintain करने के लिए in a systemized manner, if we have a system that completes my educational ERP, actually not. So this is the old way of thinking. So this is what all the ERP systems used to do. Okay, digitize कर दिया. We have the digitization, we have the systemized way, all the data is ready. Now the next thing is the system of engagement. How do we bring in all the stakeholders and make them play with it? The Honorable Vice Chancellors of the government universities can mention. So 2015, I was part of the project Jnana Sangama for Government of Karnataka. So we had challenge implementing what good technologies we had built. Right now that's because we had built the solution, but we never had that engagement aspect involved in that. So there is a very important block that is like engagement. And then once we have the data, once we have the system, and then we have, people engaging, then we get the intelligence out of it. We can apply artificial intelligence, we can bring in data analytics, we can bring in all the, your business intelligence into it, and then with those insights we grow and we can, correct our processes and we can bring in new changes in system. And in order to achieve that, right, you need a few important things. So ये तो आपका one side is your complete technology is taken care, कि your record is taken care, your engagement is taken care, and intelligence is being extracted. ये तीनों चीजें काम नहीं करेंगी until unless you do not have mobility. You have to make it usable. It has to be mobile first, because today's time everything is on mobile. If you don't build it mobile first, it's not going to work. I mean, you know the old ways of desktop में जाना काम करना, फिर laptop आया, अभी mobile है, कल तो शायद वो भी नहीं रहेगा. So, but the mobility, it has to be accessible and it has to be usable. And then we should be open. Any system for that matter should be open to integrations, right? See, for example, in education, digitization suite जब बन गया, तो उसके बाहर भी बहुत सारी चीजें होती हैं. So let's say, for example, your admissions that happen. So for the admissions, you have your CRM platforms. What they do is they nurture all your leads, right? So we have Lead Squared, and then we have, the mentorship platforms, Intercell, ऐसी forms आती हैं that integrate with CollPoll. Okay, or not just with CollPoll. I'm talking about general technology in itself. कि what are the blocks which are there that needs to be connected? And last but not the least, continuous innovations. Right? Many of the platforms fail. It's because they lack that continuous innovation capability. एक बार बना दिया रख दिया. So that is one thing that differentiates CollPoll. Other, any other system which is there, is that the CollPoll comes with an administration ERP that we spoke about. We, for the fee management, in case you want installments, you want different settlement order of the fees, जो कुछ आपको करना है, flexibility at a click of a button has been given. Then your career services, your placement services, that has been automated. Then you have your entire admission process, integration with your CRMs, everything. You need not have to talk to 1,000 people. We do everything for you. Then your user engagement, right? And then it talks about the academics. Now, new education policy. It's a very complex process, to be very honest. Right? As a registrar, when I served in a university, I used to get nightmare कि ये NEP कैसे implement करेंगे. I'm sure many of the academicians would have that thought, right? तो उसमें then we have built a NEP compliant system कि इससे आपका काम पूरा आसान हो जाएगा. And you will not, all you have to do is get your content and your people aligned, and we will ensure that this is taken care. And then we have the COVID time came in. We had to catch whether the students are copying at home or not. Google Forms से बहुत सारे लोग टेस्ट कर रहे थे, लेकिन that's the least effective way of tracking. So we came up with AI-powered examination. We have face recognition, voice recognition, gesture recognition, and multiple head detection. These kind of technologies we mixed, and we gave an examination solution for that. And then last but not the least, this is something which is very unique to our partners are also aware about it. This is very unique to CollPoll. This has not been done before on any of the platforms, that we have brought in something known as a business process automation, right, into a campus administration. Let's say, for example, मेरा light काम नहीं कर रहा in my hostel. I have to go write a letter to the warden. Warden will call the worker, and then they come and fix. Over here, everything is happening at the click of a button. In case if someone is not doing his job on time, the next message goes to the next point of contact. You see, this is what the person is not done. So that escalation matrices, all those complexities which are there in large organizations, which exist in it. I need to have a meeting with Honorable Vice Chancellor of our university, Shri Y.S.R. Murthy ji. I would want to go to his reception. I'll say I want a meeting. So they will check whether sir is available. If sir approves on the poll platform, so then it can be what you say. Then the appointment is fixed. So sir's was also an interesting story. Sir was, as a parent also, he was using CollPoll in one of the institutions. Then now RV is one of our partners. And then hostel and mess automation, right? How much are you paying to your vendor, right? Are you paying too much? Are you paying less? तो हमने एक इंस्टीट्यूशन में केस स्टडी किया कि जिस दिन उपमा बनता है बच्चे खाना नहीं खाते और वो वेस्टेज जाता है. तो व्हाट हैपेंस इज वी गिव द इंस्टीट्यूशन दैट एनालिसिस कि ये मेन्यू पे बच्चे नहीं खाते, ये मेन्यू पे बच्चे ज्यादा खाना खा रहे हैं, एंड दिस इज एंड दैट इज ऑटोमेटेड कंप्लीटली. स्कैन योर QR code, take your food, right? Unauthorized people eating, all that is being taken care, and your cost is being reduced. Then campus social engagement. So your NAC, your accreditation bodies, they talk about mentor-mentee relationship, right? In mentor-mentee relationship, you need to be, there'll be groups, there'll be a mentor guiding the students and all that. What happens is that the teachers, the academicians, their numbers get exposed, right? Their personal information is compromised when we allow them to contact over WhatsApp, etc. So CollPoll brings everything in one platform where you can have individual messaging, where you can have a group messaging, you can create separate cohorts, कि ये batch का ये cohort है, ये group है, ये mentee का, so all that can be taken care with 40 plus technologies which CollPoll brings. So now I want to talk about little bit of digital, the levelers of digital transformation. Okay, so one is the academic excellence that we need to drive. So that is driven with respect to the student feedback, your faculty development, collaboration and experiential learning. Basically, you need a chief learning officer. In today's time, the vice chancellors, the deans, the directors, they actually do the job of being a chief learning officer. They give the pedagogy, they give the systems, they define which people adopt it. And then there is operational excellence is another aspect of your digital transformation. That is one, is that you need a process efficiency, then you need a resource utilization, then you need a campus experience. So you need a CPO for that. Usually this is all been done by your directors, your registrars, your other administrators. But what happens is in the digital space, all this gets eased out, where you will be able to focus on more important things. Now in the academic, so that is what with respect to the transformation. Now I want to talk about how CollPoll is doing it. So CollPoll is bringing in your examination. Earlier it was paper, it was lengthy and it was tiring. Now we have brought in AI Profit, if you would like. Then learning, it used to be chalk and talk. Now we have made e-resources, various type of quizzes. Then your online classes, deep analytics, everything enabled at a click of a button. Then we have your engagement front, your collaboration, campus feed, push notifications, to everything. Student is absent, you can send a push notification. Before the start of a class, the student will have a push notification. Then with respect to operationals, your payments are streamlined in such a manner that there are due dates set, the student's enrollment is linked to that. Then we have your workflows, which is very unique to us. Then we have the admissions process, which we spoke about. Right? And what drives this complete technology transfer adoption is, right? See, there are some internal factors which get impacted because of this. One is we'll have very good, well-set goals. We'll have well-defined budgets. We'll have a competent and empowered technical team. So even, for example, today, my mom, who's like, old age, she knows how to use Facebook, your Instagram, etc. So similarly, we give a system so usable and so user-friendly that they can actually come be a part of it and they can become technologically competent. And then there are external factors which get impacted because of this. So in the external factors, your user experience increases a lot, the campus experience of the student, then adaptability and agility of a system, right? For example, you're going for a centralized system now. The market is ready for a centralized system. Earlier, local koi ERP bana diya, that used to manage. Because data you only karna tha. Abhi we need a standardized one which is continuously improving. Then you have your continuous innovation, scalability and security. See, for example, local systems are generally not secure, which is hosted offline, right? They're generally not secure. So now we bring in the top-notch security at your fingertips. And what we do, what is the ROI? See, everyone wants, I am bringing in technology. What is the ROI? Is it helping my institution? Is it helping my process? I think I just got a message, we need to wrap up quickly. So in a reduction of, one is the reduction of cost, right? We'll have highly productive teams who are mobile efficient. Then we have less errors. Then we have minimal cross functions. Then we have better resource utilization. And also we bring in a lot of value creation which happens because of technology adoption. So I'm not just talking about CollPoll, I'm talking about the technology in itself, right? So I love education technology, how it actually, it has impacted better placements. It has created enhanced learning experience for the student. It has created memorable campus experience. And we as an institution, as CollPoll, have done this transformation. And we are working with one of the top brands in the country. So we are working with Ashoka University, Bennett University, OP Jindal, Chitkara, DY Patil group of institutions. We are working with RV University in Bangalore, Malla Reddy group of institutions across all their institutions in Telangana. The BITS Pelani's BITSOM is with us, World University of Design. So these are all, and CV Raman Global University, these are all the institutions. There are more than 100 plus institutions where CollPoll is not just giving the platform, but it has come in as a technology partner. Over here, so this slides answer all the questions as to you going and taking subscription of multiple platforms that is handled on CollPoll automatically. We integrate with all of them. So let it be your Gmail, your SSO integration. Let it be your YouTube, it can automatically add it to LMS. Let it be your, Excel, there is automatic computation of fees and everything happening on the platform. It's creating a unified digital experience. Right, last but not the least, I think I got a cue that my time is going to get over in a minute, is that CollPoll, in case if any institution is looking for a good student experience in the campus, good learning experience, in line with the compliance of the statutory and accreditation bodies, and you want some system which is adaptable for any change that happens in market, CollPoll is one-stop answer for you. So I thank Edu Global again and all the respective guests for listening to this particular conversation. I look forward to having a conversation with you and discuss more about this throughout the day. Thank you again.